So let's get to unboxing. So first we'll look at the box. Decent looking box. It's tiny. Here's a Samsung for size comparison of how big the box is. There you can see that's the model of it. There's the back, some more detail of it. Inside the box we have the reel itself, and we have some documentation. Note, all the documentation is in Japanese. I'm going to put that back down in there. Now we'll look at the reel. Get the packaging off. So this is what the reel looks like. It's beautiful. I love that blue color already, just from opening the box and looking at it. One thing that's really cool is this reel now has a new spool. It's got some updated gearing, updated body, updated design. But before we get to this spool, we'll actually go back to the other spools and other reels that I have to compare and see how they have changed over the years, starting with the first generation and working our way up to the newest generation. So this is the first generation Daiwa Tatula SV TW. This is an 8:1 versus the 6:3 that I currently have in the 2025 variant. There's a decent difference with how it looks. One of the big feature points that they had whenever they came out with the first generation was the SV spool. Came out with the T3 and the Zillion, I'm wanting to say it's what it's called. But nonetheless, this is an awesome reel. And it's just, every generation they have gotten better with it. This one, of course, your normal tension knob. It's got your normal SV spool and your normal braking, just like everyone knows with Daiwa. And it's in a beautiful color. But let's go to generation 2 and show what the differences are between this one to the next generation. So now going to the next generation, this is the 2020 variant of the Tatula SV TW. So they changed the color scheme, changed the body a little bit. They also added this, which is called your zero adjuster system. So now, from 2020 onward, with the zero adjuster, you do not have to adjust this. It is all through the braking system. You set this to 0, and you leave it. I love that feature. It works very well. I have never had an issue out of these. I have casted my first generation hundreds of times, if not thousands of times. And I've casted this one a decent amount. I've only had this one for about a month and a half. And it's a beautiful reel. Another cool thing is they did update the spool a little bit, so it's still around the same size, but they did update how the inner workings work with it. They also updated some of the gearing inside and different things like that. And yeah, overall, that's a pretty nice looking reel. And now we'll go to what the differences are between the 2023 and the 2025. As you can already see, the body is different. And so we'll switch over to that one. So we'll put that one down real quick. So now to the new 2025. You have the zero adjuster spool. So once you set that to 0, that means no play in the spool. Well, no to little play. You can have up to 0.2 millimeters of play in the spool, and it will not affect your casting so long as you have it. It spins and just feels so smooth in every way possible. They have updated the spool, so that's another big key feature for it. They now have the SV, let me try to get it to rotate so I can show y'all the thing on it. But this is the SV boost spool. So what they did was they updated the inner workings of the spool and allowed it to be able to cast further, to where now with the TW SV series, or actually any SV series out there, anything with the SV boost can now cast further, more similar to how you would cast with probably your non-ones and most other bait casters. But before the SV spool, you'd lose about up to 5 meters. With this, you don't. It just casts, and it casts like a dream. So, and of course you got your TWS. They just changed the colors, seems like every generation. But another good thing about not having to adjust your spool is you do everything through your brakes. You have a 20-point braking system. So it's basically you set your brakes, you cast, you fire and forget. Another cool thing with it is they have now a hyperdrive system in it. So the hyperdrive is kind of like how your gearing is made. It is a new technology that Daiwa is using. So far I've yet to test out to see how that works, but so far, I mean, it's buttery smooth. And let's get to casting. I'm gonna go spool this up real quick and then we'll get out there on the water and see how she casts. All right, got it spooled up with some Daiwa J-braid. This is the Grand edition of it. Put a Guggen jerkbait on it. The pole I put it on is a lowrider made by Falcon. Turn these brakes way up because I don't know how this one's gonna react to me casting a jerkbait on it. Let's see, we'll do about there. Yeah, I can turn those brakes way down. Make sure that jerkbait's moving right. All right. Turn those brakes way down. Feels really smooth and honestly feels a little too smooth for me. Woo, backlash. Turn the brakes down a little too much. All right, got it dialed in a little bit better. Might actually switch out baits. Honestly, doesn't feel half bad. Casts incredibly. That zero adjuster works decently, which I need to make sure it's set properly. That should be a little better. See how it works. Ah, yeah. It's dialed in pretty well. Let me turn that down a little bit. Make sure it's dialing in right. Note the water is about 40 degrees, so I might not catch much out here, if anything at all, but at least we can do a review. Takes time for a bait change. Back up. I think I'm gonna change baits. Let's see what we got here. Get to the bait box. Or rather, the bait bag that has a bunch of boxes in it. I'm gonna change up how I do stuff a little bit. Want something a little bit of flash. I got a lot of Guggen baits. I did a lot of the boxes, so I got a lot of Guggen baits. from like the mystery tackle boxes. Let's see here, we'll give that one a try. Do a mini clutch. Trying to angle that up. If I have to, I can always switch over to a Texas rig or a jig. Got so many darn things in here. I've got some other rods with me, just so once I get the review done, I can actually get some other videos out. All right. Turn that up a little bit. Go that way with it. Put that down. There we go. Let it try to sink for a second. This water is deep. I think we'll actually change spots. Go back to one of my little hidden holes that usually have some fish in it. Overall, so far, this thing's working quite well. It's casting great now that I got it dialed in properly. All right. Onward to the next spot. All right, now out to the next spot. Whew. Got some wooded areas, and we'll probably switch up to a Texas rig here in a minute. Probably not recommended, but at least I can see a little bit better. Nope. Got too much into the muck. Had to get over that stinking tree. I think I'm gonna switch out to Texas rig. See what that does. All right. See how a Texas rig does. This is an all-around rod, so I can throw up multiple different types of stuff on it. It's not the best at anything, but it's average at just about everything. All right, let's see here. Of course, we have all kinds of extra gear in here, more than I could ever really use. Anything from sabiki rigs to buzz baits to swim baits. Let's see, put that back where it was. Get all that ick off of it first. Let's see here, actually, it's all precision stuff. I could do a fluke. I actually think we're gonna go with a fluke or something like that. I got one stashed in here somewhere. It's already rigged. All it is. There it is. Put it on. Let's see here. Put that in there. Yep. there we go. I see a tail. I see a head. There we go. So this is, if I remember correctly, I think this is a Yamato bait. Of course, I just got a little weight on the bottom of it. And to make stuff simplistic, I'm just going to keep the snap on it. They recommend not having a snap on it. I'm going to run a snap. Shouldn't mess up the action too much. So I've ran snaps on heck, I've ran snaps on Texas rigs and Carolina rigs. So my brakes, 2 clicks. Let it sink for a second. This isn't even really a fluke. Technically, it's a swim bait. But bass might not actually even be biting. See, I want to see how the action looks. Oh yeah, it ain't messing up the action. I'll actually go 2 clicks down. Let's see. Decently far out there. I could honestly go way even further out. Let's see, I'm gonna try to cast it over here, see how far I can get out over here. Decently far. Get out of all the ick. There we go. Oh, I'm going right in the mud. It'll work kind of like how I work a Texas rig. A little bit. Keep hitting that darn stick thinking I had something trying to bite. slide in. Got cast into the tree. One thing I do like about the zero adjuster is I don't have to do much with it. I can just set. So right now I'm set at about a 7. And we'll actually go down. Go down 3 clicks. We'll go down to 4. Get back over here. Back to where I can actually cast decent ways. We'll see just how far I can actually get this thing. Ooh, right in the face. Just got whacked in the face by a stick. So that's decently far out. Yep, backlash. Okay, so maybe don't go to a 4 after casting decent with a 7. And so one thing I like about the J braid is you can get backlashes out a little easier. So go up 2 clicks. Halfway across that lake, if not a little over half across the lake from where I'm at. So far, overall, I'm loving this new reel.
So this is the end of the video. I wanted to get more footage, but found my culprit of why I couldn't do that. So this is a GoPro Hero 12. I have 2 of them. The one I'm recording from and this one. This one keeps cutting out on me. So I'm missing half my footage. I had another hour and a half of footage. Caught 2 trout, ended up switching to a rooster tail, caught 2 trout. Even did some tests against my Metanium DC, and it was outcasting Metanium like it was nothing, and the Metanium had the edge with the rooster tail. That sucks. But yeah, this is the outro. That reel, that Daiwa is probably one of the best reels that I've ever had. I'm actually doing video editing for the video right now, as you can clearly see here. But having some technical difficulties. Got to get to the bottom of why. Well, okay, my screen just cut out, but it's still recording. So, what the heck just fell? Which that could actually be the culprit to cheap SD cards. But this is basically the end of the video. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more content. I'm gonna try to get better with it. I'm gonna figure out this GoPro. Try to figure out what's causing the issues. Everything after recording that, including another whole video, completely gone because of this. But please like and subscribe if y'all want to see more. This year I'm planning on doing a whole heck of a lot more. I've got a whole extra channel for me and my buddies to start doing it called USA Fishing Book Guys. That channel's already been made. Videos and the actual background and everything are coming soon. We're in talks with it. But of course, I'm having issues with the GoPro, and now I'm doing video editing. Hopefully, I'm going to get 1 to 2 videos out a week. Who knows? But thank y'all for watching, and have a wonderful day.